Hello, America. This is the story we're going to talk about tonight, but I'm going to talk about it in ways nobody else has. We're going to give you all of the information, and I urge you to watch the entire show, 22 minutes, and send links to everyone you know. This is important. Earlier, last Friday, the New York Times started a story, and the New York Times wrote, "There are dozens of students laughing and egging on the behavior. Will be interesting to see if anyone is actually expelled, as officials suggest is popular or possible." Anna Navarro, contributor for CNN, Telemundo, and co-host of The View, she wrote, quote, "Must watch. Native American elder taunted by racist MAGA hat-wearing teens. Speaks and cries for America, the country he defended and sacrificed and wore the uniform for. It is people like Nathan Phillips who make America great. Thank you for your dignity, sir." Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The pulse in the mainstream media, on their social media and on their networks, perfectly in sync. And all it took was 60 seconds of a social media video. That's it. But boy, oh boy, they couldn't be more wrong. The video quietly playing right here over my shoulder, that's all the facts they needed. 60 seconds to convict a group of kids of racism, hate, and bigotry. And they never even bothered to find out the real truth. But everything you have been told from the media is a lie. And tonight, I'm going to prove it to you. You will see it and hear it. Everything you have been told from Nathan Phillips, the Native American activist with the drum, is a lie. And when you see the evidence, you will see that not only is it a lie, it is the exact opposite of what really happened that day. At the end of this, you're going to have to make a choice. Blue pill, red pill. Do I take a stand and speak up, or do I remain silent? But this is what really happened. It was Friday afternoon at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. 3 separate groups would clash during that time, but only one would take the blame. A group of predominantly white kids wearing some red MAGA hats. A group of Native Americans and some black street preachers. But now, in today's media climate and social climate, I think we all know, based on that description, who is it you would think would wind up getting the blame? The reasonable answer should be, after watching a 60-second video of a kid smiling at a Native American banging a drum in his face, is, I don't know, can you give me some context? Because 60 seconds doesn't provide context. But we don't live in that world anymore. We live in a world where appearances, gender, skin color, and yes, strangely now, even the choice of head fashion instantly proclaims your guilt. And the child smiling in that 60-second video had every strike against him. Is he white? Yeah. Gender? Male. That's another check. MAGA hat? Oh yeah, check. Oh, and did you say he attends a Christian school? Check, check, and double check. A short viral video on social media and the mainstream media instantly declared him and all those with him as guilty, all due to the fact that he checked every single appearance for their boxes. America, you have to decide, is this who we are? Is this who we are now, and is this who you want to be? What does this mean for your children? Now, by now, you've probably heard the story, but not the way. I'm not going to tell it to you. I'm going to show it to you. Yesterday, for about 8 or 9 hours, my entire staff just went through videos. They watched from every angle. They watched every piece of video they could get their hands on, and we put it together in order to be able to explain and show you the evidence of what really happened. At the end of this, you should ask, why on earth would it be told any other way? And you already know the answer. But let's start here. A group of boys from Covington Catholic High School in Kentucky. They were finishing up a long day. They've done this for 10 years in a row. They attend the March for Life. They were given permission to do a little sightseeing before meeting up at the Lincoln Memorial to depart. The last 10 years, they always meet on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. The bus picks them up there, and they all give their school pep cheers. Well, this time they arrived to see a pair of dueling demonstrations. There was a group of Native Americans who had gathered as part of the Indigenous Peoples March, and that march was partly about the wall. They said no borders, no walls. But then there was also another group there, African-American street preachers, if you can call them that, from the Black Hebrew Israelites. Tomorrow on radio, I'm going to be telling you exactly who this group is. They are nasty bad. Now, just a few of the boys stood for a second, and they watched and they listened as the Black Hebrew Israelites screamed at the Native Americans, telling them that they were evil for practicing their cultural beliefs. It got so bad that some of the Native Americans walked up and peacefully pleaded with them to stop interrupting their gathering. Listen and watch.
You mean savage. You are not savages. You are the children of God, according to the Bible. You are the children of Israel.
Those are the Native Americans there.
Before you started worshiping totem poles, you was worshiping the true living God.
That's right.
Before you became an idol worshiper, you was worshiping the true and living God. And this is the reason why this land was taken away from you. Because you worship.
Now you'll notice you don't see the Covington boys anywhere.
You worship every creation except the Creator.
That's right.
And that's what we are here to tell you
now,
to do.
Here comes a Native American.
We are here to tell you to wake
and he's going to
to
peacefully say, please
this
stop
is
this.
the Holy Bible. We don't have a microphone, brother. Okay, and this is the part of freedom of the speech and freedom of religion.
Look at his face. He is just like, please stop.
Okay, and I hear you. I honor my God. We honor our God, brother. And that's what we are here to tell you what you have to do. You have to come away from the Lord. You have to come away from your religions, philosophies, and doctrines and start worshiping the true and living power, which his name is Yahweh.
Okay. Is there anything more insulting than this? And you'll notice the Native Americans are peaceful. He called them idol worshipers, totem pole worshipers, eagle and buffalo worshipers, all not true. A Native American then peacefully comes over and pleads with them, please stop, which they didn't. The Black Hebrew Israelites go on, and they continue to insult, all of the insults directed specifically at the Native Americans. It was right about that time that the Israelites decided then to direct their hostility onto a group of boys from Covington that were starting to gather, standing close by. Now, we did not play what happened in between because it's all profanity, because some of the Native Americans aren't as nice as that last Native American, and it came to a boiling point to where we thought blows are going to be exchanged. It didn't, because they redirected the attention to the Covington boys. Watch.
That's right.
Pompous bastards over there wearing Make America Great.
That's right. Little Billy.
This is the one.
Little corny ass Billy in there.
Why are you not angry at
Little
them?
corny ass Billy Bob.
Why you not angry at them?
Okay?
Yeah, go talk to them with them Make America Great hats on.
Unbelievable, man.
Tell them come over here in the Lion's Den instead of mocking over there. You little dirty ass crackers, your day coming. Your day coming. Your day coming. Because you little dusty asses wouldn't walk down the street in a black neighborhood and go walk up on nobody playing no games like that. Yeah, I was.
Okay, so remember, look at those little bastards over there wearing Make America Great Again hats. These are high school kids. Here are adults yelling and screaming at each other. And then, to escape the wrath of the Native Americans, they redirect. Look at that little boy. So the Indigenous Peoples March, heckled by the Black Hebrew Israelites. Then you get to the part again of more profanity, but it's obvious that the Native Americans have had enough of the Black Israelites. And as it's beginning to get out of control, with several Native Americans returning shouts and profanity with some of their own, the street preachers again result to racist insults and redirect to the boys in the MAGA hats who have done nothing so far. Watch.
Always talking out their ass. Always talking out their ass. But you won't say that to this Peckerwood.
He's talking to the Indians.
Great hat again.
That's right.
Damn Uncle Tomahawk.
That's right.
Uncle Tomahawk.
That's right.
Bunch of Uncle Tomahawks. Why you don't crack that Peckerwood with the head on?
That's right.
Why you don't crack his head?
That's
Why
right.
you don't speak to him like that?
That's right.
Because you're Uncle Tomahawk.
That's right.
Okay, Why aren't you talking to the Peckerwood wearing the Great America, Make America Great Again hat? You're an Uncle Tomahawk. You're a bunch of Uncle Tomahawks. Go crack his head. Holy cow. Can you imagine if the roles would be reversed and that's what the kids were saying to the Native American? No, that was the blacks. So now why is the media dismissing this? Why are they leaving this part of the story out? Well, clearly they have an agenda. Now this goes back and forth for over an hour, with the Black Hebrew Israelites even resorting to calling other African Americans in the vicinity the N-word for not agreeing with them. It was about this time that the boys from Covington High School had begun gathering in large numbers, and they were just waiting for their ride home, but they had to do their spirit cheer as they do every year. I want to play a small portion of what ensued next because it leads directly into the incident that would immediately go viral. But keep in mind for later, because we have to come back to this clip, this specific line of insults towards the Covington boys, again, directly followed by another instance where the Black Israelites were being confronted for their racism and bigotry. Listen.
Look at all these dusty-ass crackers with that racist garbage on. Look at these dirty-ass crackers. Can't stand in the damn sun for 5 minutes.
Why you don't build the damn wall?
Can't stand in the damn sun.
Let me ask y'all something. Y'all want to build a wall for Mexico?
Okay, look at all these dusty-ass crackers and with this racist garbage on, the hats. Again, remember this clip because it plays a big part of the story and a crucial element to the deception. And I will tie it all together. And I warn you, when this lie is exposed, your eyes may bleed. We'll come back in a minute. So by now, all of the boys from Covington were becoming a little annoyed. The entire area in 300-meter radius, just trying to get these Black Israelites to shut up. They're insulting everyone. The high school kids, in order to drown out the racism and bigotry, decide that a pep rally might be, better than the hate coming from the preachers. So that's what they did. Now, this is something they've been doing for 10 years. But this time it had an added bonus of providing a little distraction from the confrontation brewing between the Black Israelites and Native Americans. Watch.
Hey, these crackers wild, huh?
Look at this fool, get no more than 5 person thing. He said the Hebrew law. Look at this here. You serious?
This was interpreted by many as racist. There's no hate here. None of this was directed at the Native Americans. In fact, far from that, and to the contrary. At this point, the Covington kids and the Native Americans, they felt, were united together against the racism and bigotry of the Black Israelites. I mean, it's a very kid thing to do, and it's better than listening to the bigotry coming from the mouths of the Black Israelites. But right as this was going on, one of the Native American attendees of the Indigenous Peoples March, who came to specifically protest the border, approached the Covington group. He walked away from the area where the Native American demonstration had gathered at. He walked right past the Black Israelites and directly into the middle of the high schoolers. He stopped in front of a 17-year-old. He banged his drum just a couple of inches from his face. Here is the moment when it began. Watch.
Here come Gad. Here come Gad. Here come Gad.
It's the Black Israelites saying, "Here comes
Look
Gad."
at Make America Great Again hats. Look at the hats. Look at the hats. We ain't taking. Look, we not taking. Look at Gad. That's right, Gad. Look at Gad.
They are just trying to get everybody wound up. Look, he's telling the Indians, look at their Great Make America Great Again hats. Okay? They think the Native Americans are actually beating to their prep rally rhythm, But you'll notice that the black preachers called the approaching Native American Gad. Now, what the hell is Gad? Here comes Gad. Look at Gad. That's the name of a false god mentioned in Isaiah chapter 65. So the black Israelites are still insulting the Native Americans and trying to get them to look at that. They want to build a border. But not a peep of this has been mentioned in the media. The Native American's name is Nathan Phillips. He's known as an activist who protested the Dakota Access Pipeline in South Dakota. He protested Thanksgiving by living in a teepee at the base of the Washington Monument with his family for a month. The media has spun all of this as if the Covington kids approached Phillips and disrespected their demonstration. Clearly not the case. The video is very visibly evident here. It shows Philip walking up to the kids as the aggressor. The boys simply continued their pep rally to drown out the black Israelites. It wasn't until a drum was thrust 2 inches from the face of one of the students that everybody started to realize, wait, something else is going on. In other videos from the kids, you can hear them say, what's happening? What's going on? Phillips initially told the Washington Post that the boys surrounded him as he was preparing to leave and they blocked his exit. He later contradicted this in an interview with the Detroit Free Press, admitting that it was he, not they, that had initiated the contact. But he also stated that he did this because the Covington kids were attacking the black Israelites, which is clearly not true. Now, you've just watched the video, and it is all too painfully obvious. In fact, Phillips' actions seem completely at odds with every other Native American present at that rally that day. They were all peaceful. The vast majority were either debating or getting confrontational with the black Israelites. None of them were at odds with the high school kids. Now, one of the catalysts for why some have said Phillips decided to do what he did was due to a claim that the boys were saying build that wall and felt insulted by it. The students deny this was ever said, but in an interview quoted in the New York Times, the organizers of the Indigenous Peoples March also claimed, we heard somebody say it. The New York Times was quick to point out that build that wall is a quote and a rallying cry of supporters of Donald Trump. Which brings me back to the video clip I told you we'd come back to. I want you to listen to it again, but this time listen carefully for the words, build that wall.
Look at all these dusty ass crackers with that racist garbage on. Look at these dirty ass crackers. Can't stand in the damn sun for 5 minutes.
Why you don't build the damn wall?
Can't stand in the damn sun.
Okay.
Build that wall, build that wall, build that damn wall. Why don't you build that wall? They are mocking. The Native Americans are being mocked by the black Israelite leader. It was indeed said, but not by one of the Covington kids. Out of all of the video evidence from the entire event, only one time that build that wall was ever heard was when it was said right there by one of the leaders of the black Israelites. The media never did their work. And now they act as if they're holier than thou, apologizing. And today, I have seen they are going in to find other tape from other times where they are trying to smear these boys. What the media saw was a bunch of white boys from a Christian school wearing red hats and instantly handed out a verdict of guilty. Did Nathan Phillips do this as an activist looking for exposure? I'm going to let you be the judge. You've seen the video. You've now seen the evidence. It was a fight between black Israelites and the Native Americans that was threatening to boil over, and the kids stopped it. Now, read the words of Nathan Phillips, because this is what he claimed happened. They, the Covington boys, witnessed these individuals, the Black Hebrew Israelites, on their soapbox saying what they had to say. Well, they just didn't agree with it, and they got offended. They were in the process of attacking these 4 black individuals. I was there, and I was witnessing all of this. As this kept going on and escalating, it just got to a point where you have to do something or walk away, you know? You see something that is wrong, and you're faced with that choice of right or wrong. There was that moment when I realized I put myself between beast and prey. These young men were beastly, and these old black individuals was their prey. And so I stood between them. And so they needed their pounds of flesh, and they were looking at me for that. He said, quote, "It was ugly what these kids were involved in. It was racism. It was hatred. It was scary. I mean, if you go back and look at the lynchings that was done in America, you'd see the faces on those people, the glee and the hatred in their faces. That's what these faces looked like," end quote. This is a complete and total bald-faced lie. This man is a wicked man or senile. Everything he claimed that happened, exactly the opposite is true. There is no denying the evidence. Nathan Phillips is a left-wing open borders activist who saw an opportunity to get attention. He did not care who he was sinking as long as it was a white man. And the media bought it hook, line, and sinker because they're cut from the same cloth. So now you know. And as at the beginning I said, you have a choice. We all can remain silent. We can all remain safe. We can all remain without anybody complaining or targeting us. Or you can stand up now with the boys of Covington High School. But if we chose to be silent, if we stay silent now, what does that say about us? What have we become? Now is the beginning. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. Silence in the face of evil is evil itself. I have tried with every opportunity I have had today to shout this from the mountaintops. Every chance I get, I will share this. I ask you to do the same. Stand with the boys of Covington Catholic School. Consider something. This happened just a few steps away from the exact same spot Dr. Martin Luther King stood on stage and said, "I have a dream that my little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character." We've seen the content of these boys' characters. Judge carefully. I am asking for the network to put this on YouTube so you can share it with all of your friends. I beg you to share this message with all that you know, because no one else is taking the time to correct it with the facts and the video. Good night.